Should be live. Hopefully. I want to know what I sound like. Should be live. Hopefully. I want to know what I sound like. Should be live. Hopefully. I want to. Okay. Hello. No one. What I'm trying to do is see if I can set up a vlogging situation where I can just talk to people. And this is not exactly a podcast or anything. It's just supposed to be a way to just quickly hop on and share my thoughts about something. This is more just about me talking. Maybe talking to you or whatever. So I think what I'll talk about is who knows? Let's see. I want you guys to throw out topics. This will be a test round where I get some topics thrown at me and we can talk and just share thoughts or whatever. Basically, what I'm trying to do is see if I can get into talking on my own because I'm not usually good at talking on my own. I'm usually good at talking with people. But then when I talk with people, I don't get like a message out. If I do, I feel bad because I feel like I'm making them wait. I'm talking over people. I don't want to interrupt people. I just want to get my thoughts out there and kind of help develop my own unique voice thing. Maybe turn that into a podcast. But mostly, I just want to start producing things because I have a bunch of subscribers on my YouTube channel. And I don't fucking put anything on my YouTube channel. And I got them because of Rated M for podcasts and stuff. So I want to give them something unique to me that is just from me. So pop in the chat. Tell me what you want to talk about. And we'll talk video games. And talk video games. So, I want to see if anything pops in the chat. Come on, come on, come on. Give me something. Hey, my viewer list is actually fucking populating now. That's fucking nice. Drew, am I in the right place? Yeah, Bill, this is the right place. Let me know if the quality sucks. I see it keeps reloading on my page. I might see if I need to like lower the quality. Actually, I'm pretty sure I need to lower the quality. Sweet. So give me topics. Give me topics, guys. Tell me what you want to talk about. I want to talk. You should tell me what to talk about. While you type that, I'm going to go fix the light in here because it's getting dark. What's up, Chicken Lord, man? You cray. Chicken Lord, do you even follow me on Twitter? Because if you do, I'm not totally sure if I know who you are on Twitter. You want me to talk about Mario Kart 8? Okay, so you want me to talk about fucking a game that I don't play and probably won't play? You sure about that? Xbox One new stuff. So I was on a podcast today that will come out later, where somebody suggested that what they think for an announcement from Xbox would be a discless Xbox One. I think at this point that probably won't happen, because then we'd have three SKUs, right? So we would have the Xbox One with Kinect, an Xbox One without Kinect, and then a new one without either a Kinect nor a Blu-ray player. And within the first year of a console, you don't want to confuse people. You just need to get it out there. I mean, unless you're Nintendo, and then you can confuse people all you want because you don't give a fuck, and you don't want them to buy your product. So what I think is going to happen is you'll see them talk about this Kinectless Xbox maybe for a second. But one of the reasons they announced that before E3 is so that they could get that out of the way and talk about video games. So I don't see Xbox One as a topic too much, unless they have some new features or something cool. Oh no, Bree has no audio. What's up, Watts? I didn't even expect you guys to be in here. Sorry about the noise. My cat is making noise if that's noisy right now. Anyways, to get back to the topic, right now we're talking about the Xbox One and what I think is going to happen at E3. And so I think they want to keep it simple so that people will buy their console. Somebody just mentioned, Bill just mentioned bundles. I don't think we'll see bundles, so to speak. But for instance, at around the holiday season when Black Ops 2 came out, they had these like bundles at GameStop where you could buy an Xbox One and get Black Ops 2 for free or some shit, sort of like $10 or something ridiculous. I think we'll see stuff like that. That said, unless they have some crazy new thing going on this year, I don't know. I don't think they'll bundle or create any special edition SKUs this year because the shit's only been out for like a few months. You know what I mean? So by then it'll be out a year, and I feel like if you start flooding the market with different SKUs and all this different stuff, it's gonna take away from the main focus, which is here's the new box, put it in your house, play games on it. So yeah. All right, what? So I don't think there'll be a Destiny Xbox One, Chicken Lord, and you know that. You know there won't be a Destiny Xbox One because Sony fucking owns the marketing for Destiny, and there's no way Activision would put out an Xbox One bundle or a Destiny edition. Bree, you need to let me know if you can hear me, girl. Because if you can't, then that sucks. You need to fix it. I need to fix it. Something needs to be fixed. Oh, I forgot I still had that on. They will definitely announce new games. Everyone will announce new games. That's the whole fucking point of E3. Bill, you know that. But as far as new games that will come this year, I kind of agree with Sean that Sony will probably announce new games that we'll see next year or the next year. And then Microsoft will probably announce games that we will see this year. In the long run, that's not exactly best for Microsoft because they need to be telling us about things that we'll be playing over the next couple years. So we'll get teases about stuff beyond this year. But I think... okay, so it was fixed. Yay! Love you. So I think that we will get new games this year from Xbox that hopefully will be like mind-bogglingly good. But realistically, you know, at the beginning of the console, beginning of a console cycle like this, I don't think you're going to see a lot of really, really, really good games. Looking back at the beginning of the 360 life cycle, it wasn't until like Gears of War and Oblivion and stuff like that came out until we got, you know, games that were really giving us next-gen feelings. Fight Night Round 3 was amazing. Blew people's minds on the 360. And it's going to be a minute before we see that stuff. So I think we're really lucky to we're really lucky to be seeing Destiny. You know, as much as I'm being a fanboy about it, it's really interesting to see something like Destiny come at the beginning of a launch cycle. Granted, it's coming at the end of the 360 life cycle, and so, you know, they were working on this before they even knew what an Xbox One was. So this is actually, you know, a great game to send off your 360 on. However, it's really fortunate to see it come on new consoles because it's a very ambitious, very big, very interesting looking game. So, you know, that is just sheer luck. And since we have stuff like Titanfall and I'd say Evolve, you know, those are very next gen games. But they're not really games that are going to blow people's minds like a Half-Life or you know, like a new Halo that's going to like blow people's minds. So, you know, like I said, we're going to see a lot of games this year, but I wouldn't be too shocked until what we hear about next year. That said, I think next year is going to be the year, and if we are lucky, we'll see those games here at E3. If not, we'll see them next year at E3, and then they will come out at the end of next year. So my theory about the whole E3 thing, and I've talked a little bit about this other places, but 2007 was the fucking year. You know, you had Mass Effect, BioShock, Uncharted, Call of Duty Modern Warfare, Super Mario Galaxy, Rock Band. I said Mass Effect, BioShock. Oh, and Assassin's Creed. So you had all that come out at once, right? And that was after the consoles have been out for a minute. I think that's coming next year. Man, your guys' chat is so delayed. It sucks. That's okay. So I'm just going to continue to talk. The whole point of this, I want to get like interaction from you guys, but I'm not going to go back and forth on like everything that you say. So don't feel bad if I like miss a point that you guys had to speak. Like if you just dropped a comment or something, just don't be offended. It's not like I'm ignoring you. I want to just kind of get a flow of thought out. If you missed when I first booted this up, what I'm doing is just trying to work on kind of talking on my own without having like a back and forth or something like that, even though I'm leaning on you guys for conversation and stuff. I really feel like I should start putting out content of my own on my channel since I have like 70 subscribers supposedly, and I never put things out on my channel. So I want to start doing that here. So what I'll do is, you know, I'll start streaming stuff, which I do from time to time here on this channel, and then I'll start talking. I want to start vlogging and doing stuff like that. So I'll throw some conversation that I know I'm going to put out on Rated M also, but it's going to be with everybody else, and so I get to talk about it here on my own. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Let me bring up my document about what I think is going to happen at E3, or at least what I would like to see happen at E3. Nope, that's work. I don't want that. E3 predictions. So Microsoft is going to reveal the Ridley Scott show thing. I think there's going to be a trailer. I really think that we're going to see like a teaser or a trailer or something about what they want to do with Halo and this web series or whatever you want to call it. So that would be fucking sweet. I really think it's like a 60-40 chance that that'll happen. Like it'll either really happen or they won't even talk about it. But I find it really unlikely that they won't talk about so much Halo this year. There's so much to talk about, which is kind of makes me nervous because I don't want people to get overfed with Halo again already, which is what happened with Halo Reach. You know, you had 3, you had ODST, you had Wars, and then you had Reach, and at that point people were like, hey, can we take a break? And then Halo 4 came out, and everybody was like, hey, we don't no. And it sold like crazy, but people didn't like it. So I would like this to be a nice build up. I think the way you do that is you announce the Master Chief Collection for beta. And so leading up to that September, October timeframe, we're going to get a similar thing to what we have with Forward Unto Dawn, where you're going to get chapters of something coming out leading up to the Master Chief Collection, which is weird because I don't expect the Ridley Scott thing to have anything to do with the previous 4 games. I think it'll be a lead up to Halo 5. But, you know, maybe we'll see some more about Halo 5 later in the year when the game comes out. Maybe when Halo Master Chief Collection comes out, there will be like something attached to it, like a trailer or documentary or something about Halo 5. So as soon as Master Chief Collection comes out, you know, maybe we'll start getting hit with teasers about Halo 5, but I don't know. Okay. So Ridley Scott trailer, and then the other big prediction that I came up with for Microsoft. This is kind of a spoiler if you're not going to watch tomorrow, but hey, Bree's not going to be here tomorrow, so girl, this is just for you, so you could get a little bit of game talk in your life before you go disappear for a week or whatever the hell you're doing. Crackdown sequel. I think there's going to be a Crackdown sequel coming from Microsoft. Hopefully. I don't know. I don't know why I pulled that out. It's just one of the only like interesting franchises that Microsoft has that it's not doing anything with, and it could really pull it back out. I would actually be more interested to see more Crackdown than I would to see more Gears of War. Like, Crackdown falls into a really cool category that Sony has on lock right now with Infamous. So if you look at Infamous, it's the open world power fantasy, superhero game, and you could turn Crackdown into that. You could make another Crackdown, keep that cheesy, fun, interesting thing going, the interesting graphics, art style, and really kind of make up for the fact that Crackdown 2 sucked. You have shoots, like a photo shoot. Bree, are you a model that I don't know about? Because what the fuck? Do you have a Tumblr page or something? Anyways, so Crackdown could be cool. If I could like picture my perfect Crackdown game, it would be one that is not only good at integrating multiplayer, where we're all jumping around the same city and doing cool shit, but it actually encourages it. It didn't do a good job of doing that. There is no real enticing reason to play with friends on Crackdown or Crackdown 2. Is just crazy fun. But there was no like narrative. There was no what's the word? I don't know. There just wasn't a lot of oh, okay. Oh, that's right. I knew you were a photographer. I knew that. I don't know. So we'll see. Let's move on. Let me rattle off a few other things and see what you guys think about what I think could be at Microsoft's press conference. How about announcing the beta for Fable? Supposedly, I caught this from a GameScoop recently. Supposedly there's going to be a beta for Fable, and I think that would be interesting to see happen for anyone who has an Xbox One. Not like a closed beta or a, hey, if you apply, blah, blah, blah. It's just like, watch it just pop out and be on the marketplace. Just surface it to the front so that everybody sees it and they go, what the fuck is this? And they hop in and make it a fun thing that you can do with your friends. That would sell some Fable. That would be a good way to bring Fable back into people's, hearts and minds, and just have no Kinect. Have no Kinect anything at all. That would be great. So another thing would be a Forza sequel. Forza has come like every year in the last 3 or 4 years, I want to say, or something like that. And so a Forza Horizon sequel would be great. I think Forza Horizon with some like next-gen-y, first of all, they have to keep Drivatars. That would be really cool. Playing in an open world, just driving an open world and watch like Bill's Drivatar just drives by, and I can drive up next to it and like honk my horn, and it'll just set us to a race or something. Like we race from where we are to like the next gas station or something, like a drag race. like a rolling drag race. How cool would that be? Or, you know, and then like seamlessly integrate that so if Bill is actually playing Forza Horizon and he drives by, we can do the same thing. So have that going on and make it along the lines of what's going on with the crew and drive club, where you can kind of like seamlessly integrate into people's situations and all that and team up and do objectives and stuff like that. That is a great idea, and that fits more into a Forza Horizon game than it does into a straight up Forza Motorsport game. I mean, Forza Motorsport is it's a simulation game. You can't mess too much with a simulation game before all of a sudden you start losing people's attention from the gearheads. You know, they don't want to play an arcadey thing. That's why they made Horizon, so that they could appeal to a wider audience. You know, Need for Speed has been a non-stop, even when it's not doing well, it's still a constantly selling, constantly great thing for EA, and has been so for over like 20 years at this point. So, or around 20 years at this point. And that's I mean, like even Gran Turismo can't exactly speak to that, because, you know, Gran Turismo has been a PlayStation property since the start, since PlayStation 1, and Need for Speed started before the PlayStation. It was on PC. So, you know, those guys know what they're doing, and them taking a step back this year is a perfect time for Forza Horizon to come out and answer Drive Club with a like, hey, Drive Club's great and all if you have a PS4 and if you're really into whatever the fuck they're doing over there, but if you don't, buy this game. I think that would be a smart move. So, you know, having Forza, having that going on is a good way to do it. 8 days, 17 hours, 41 minutes, and 525,000. So, no, just kidding. I'm not going to sing to you guys. Sunset Overdrive, I think there will be multiplayer gameplay, like on stage. I think they will have like a handful of people playing Sunset Overdrive on stage live. That's just a fucking no-brainer. I mean, we've already seen a ton of that game, so let's just see it actually be played. And then it'll be playable at E3. That's a no-brainer. That has to happen. They're actually having a Sunset Overdrive event. They just announced that, I think, like today or yesterday. After, that's their post-show. The Microsoft post-show party thing is a Sunset Overdrive event. So they're going to be pushing Sunset Overdrive a lot this year, which, you know, is for better or for worse. I think it looks like a great game. I think it's not exactly a wide net. It's not going to catch everybody, but it's a really unique offering, and I think it's a good thing to have in the stable for Microsoft. So Quantum Break being delayed sucks, but we will see gameplay for sure. They said it. Not at E3, but at Gamescom. And so at E3, I think we'll be seeing, I don't know, a trailer, maybe giving us an idea of what the fuck the story's about. And then, let's see, the next thing on my list is a new IP. I don't know why I just stuck it here in the middle, but I really think that we're going to see new IPs. You know, like Bill said, I think we're going to see new games that we've never heard of that are going to come out later this year. I don't really have much more to speak to on that because they're new games. We've never heard of them. I don't know anything about them. I wish I did. I'm sorry. So, halfway through the Microsoft stuff, I wrote exclusive Epic game ? Because there was a leaked thing. We talked about this a couple episodes ago on Rated M. There was a leaked document about what the hell's going to happen at E3 from Microsoft, and excuse me, this beer is fantastic. Epic creating a new game exclusively for the Xbox One doesn't sound right, looking at what Epic's been up to lately, but at the same time, I don't see why not. Like, I don't see why they wouldn't, but at the same time, I don't know why they would. Like, I don't know why they would want to. They're doing so good with the Unreal Engine and marketing that and making that a, you know, just a viable source of income. Unless Epic still has some really creative people that want to make video games, I don't see this happening. So maybe they do. You know, maybe they have some creative people that still really want to make video games, and so they're going to make a game that showcases the Unreal Engine on the Xbox One. So, I'm drinking Leinenkugel Sunset Wheat. It's pretty fucking tasty. If you drink it for the first time and somebody tells you, it instantly tastes the way that someone tells you it tastes. And I'm telling you right now, if you ever drink this, it tastes like Fruit Loops or Fruity Pebbles. This beer, for some fucking reason, tastes like Fruity Pebbles. I have no idea why. What up, Counter Donut? I don't know who you are. How you doing? Welcome to the whatever the hell this is. It's kind of a vlog. It's kind of like a live vlog thing. Hey, Watts is still here. What's up, Watts? Are you still playing WildStar? If you are, just nod your head and keep playing. So an exclusive Epic game would be really cool. I would like that. I want more exclusives for the Xbox One. I think Epic would be a good studio to make another one. So you don't know. An interesting point is Big Huge Games, who developed Kingdoms of Amalur, went to go become Epic Baltimore, and I think they closed, so I don't think they're there anymore. Okay, there's a Polygon article from a couple years ago. Let me look at this real quick. So nearly 100 employees. Oh, many of the nearly 100 employees, should never drink and read, of Big Huge Games found themselves suddenly out of work because of Kurt Schilling's 38 Studios imploded, blah, blah, blah. They went to Epic Games, and I believe that was Epic Baltimore, but it had like another name, like Narwhal or something like that, like Narwhal Studios. Let me take a look at this. Okay, so yeah, all right, here's a Kotaku article from last year. Oh, Impossible. I love their icon. Here, let me I'm going to link this in the chat. Their icon is a grizzly bear standing on his hind legs, roaring with a fucking unicorn horn and huge like eagle wings. Hold on. This is the coolest thing. I've actually never played Kings of Amalur, Bree. I really wanted to, but I don't know. From the Unlock group, dude. What's up, Counter? Hey, so thanks for joining, man. I'm doing this just to create some content for my YouTube channel, but I wanted to do it here instead of just speaking at nothing. I wanted to talk to whoever wanted to join me live. So thanks for coming by. If you want to subscribe to my YouTube channel, it is youtube.com/Drewcifer1998, which is, I know, not 1985, but unfortunately I broke youtube.com/Drewcifer1985 and I can't get it back. So it's 1998 now, so whatever. Tried out DLC since Big Huge went under. So anyways, $5 on Steam, that would be cool. I would definitely check out Kings of Amalur for $5 on Steam. But anyways, Impossible Studios, which was Epic Baltimore, was closed. But I tell you, those guys were from Epic. I wonder, I wonder if they come back to Epic, or if I wonder if Epic found a way to start some new stuff out of the ashes of that studio also. So if Epic makes a new game for the Xbox One, that would be cool. That's enough of that. Metal Gear Solid 5 will be played on stage at the Xbox One press conference, maybe. We saw a big, huge thing about Metal Gear Solid at the opening of the Microsoft press conference last year. I don't think that's how it'll go this year. That'd be a little redundant. But I think it would be kind of cool to see if this happens. Now, all right, hear me out on this. I believe there was a Metal Gear Solid game on the PSP that had multiplayer in it somehow. Like Portable Ops or something. I'm not a Metal Gear Solid person. I've only played one, like the first one. I've played that and beat it with a friend of mine, Anonymous. Go look him up on YouTube. He's fantastic. So I would be surprised, but kind of in a good way, if Metal Gear Solid 5 showed up at Xbox One and they said, bam, it is like you can just hop in and out of your friend's Metal Gear Solid experience, just ride up on a horse, stealth ride up on a horse with them, and you can go through open world missions and like tactically speak to them, and like you sneak around to the other side and I'm sneaking in the back of this camp and you're like picking people off from the ridge, you're sniping people, and I'm sneaking through and knifing dudes. Like that would be the shit, because that's kind of what they tried to do with Ghost Recon Future Soldier, I want to say, where they kind of like, hey, coordinate with your buddies and do this stealth blah blah blah, and that didn't really work out. But a Metal Gear Solid like multiplayer co-op game would be really fucking cool. Let me just say that. So if that showed up, that would be really fucking sweet. Burnt my egg rolls. Girl, that would suck. You want that logo on a t-shirt? I know, right, Josh? The fucking Awesome Studios or Impossible Studios, wouldn't that be the shit? That would be really fucking cool. Next, I have The Witcher 3. I think The Witcher 3 will be played on stage at Xbox One, or at Microsoft's press conference, probably. I think Evolve will be played on stage at the Xbox press conference. I think there may be a BioShock teaser at the Microsoft press conference. Maybe. Call of Duty will have like way too much time. And we will know a whole lot more about it. I have a feeling they will do the multiplayer debut. Excuse me. That said, last year, leading up to Ghosts, they made a big deal about the multiplayer debut. So maybe they won't do that here. I don't know. Maybe at Gamescom or something. I think there will be a Titanfall announcement of some sort. I think we'll see DLC. That should be coming later this year. So this year, the year of the first-person shooter again is Evolve, Destiny, Titanfall, Battlefield, and Call of Duty. So Call of Duty and Battlefield have fucking nothing to do with each other this year. I just talked about this in the We the Gamer cast. If you want to see stuff that I write and support me and go to this website and click on it every fucking day so that hopefully I can go to E3 next year. Go to wethenerdy.com. That would be super awesome. But we recorded a podcast today at noon, and I talked about the fact, and it dawned on me as we were talking. I talked about the fact that Call of Duty, Battlefield, and Halo, and Destiny, and Evolve are the big first-person shooters. But Call of Duty, Destiny, and Battlefield are the big three, and they have nothing to do with each other. If a Halo game comes out this year, it'll probably be the collection, the Master Chief Collection, and I don't exactly think that will compete. I think it'll just be great for fans and for people who want to get into the beta for Halo 5. So with those three having nothing to do with each other, the police, future warfare, and sci-fi, like totally off the moon sci-fi, literally off the moon sci-fi, I think that's an interesting thing. And so Titanfall still has to kind of be relevant. Otherwise, everyone's going to drop it like a hot rock. So you want to be relevant by releasing really compelling DLC around this time. So what I think is going to happen at the Xbox press conference is, Respawn's going to come out and be like, all right, so far we've given you, fucking Titanfall, and you played the crap out of it. Thank you, blah, 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 stats. And now we have this DLC that's out now and it's doing great or whatever, and then they drop like a megaton bomb of like something really cool that should be coming out later this year. I have no idea what it would be. I'm not going to come up with some cool theory. I just think that it'll be awesome. What's up, Legendary? Thanks for joining, dude. Put whatever swag you guys need on a list. Just booked my travel to RTX. Oh baby. RTX. Watts, if you get me anything like legitimately Halo related that I could maybe wear from RTX, I could hump you for that. That'd be cool. I'd be all right. With that. Evolve, not so much. Bree, what the hell, girl? I don't know what's wrong with you. That game looks fucking amazing. You're a crazy person. That's okay. Still love you. Oh, and Below. So the last thing I want to talk about for Xbox press conference is Below. Another game from Cappy Games, the guys who made Super Time Force. Below looks awesome. So Below is a like you just like it's like a isometric sort of where like the camera is pulled out so far that you can like barely make out your character, and it's to do that to show you how massive this world is that you're in, and like the size of the dungeons that you're in, and like look how big this mountain is that you're climbing into, and it's to kind of remind you that you're very, very fragility of life, blah blah blah. And for some reason, Cappy really likes to kill people. So Super Time Force is all about you dying and then resurrecting and rewinding and fighting alongside your dead people. Below is about you dying and then dying and dying, and then the gameplay is just dying. That's all it is. People are calling it like a I don't know, I wouldn't say Fez, but like something like, just picture random indie game of the last few years, that kind of art style, and mix that with Dark Souls and like Diablo. So you're going through these areas. I think they're procedurally generated, and I think they change every time. Maybe, could be wrong, but you die and you have to go back through that dungeon or that area or whatever, and your stuff's still there, but I think it still levels you up. Like when you die, you still come back as like that level or whatever, and it helps you. Dying is actually part of the progression of the game. It's not a game that I think I personally would enjoy, but I think it's a really unique game that I'm happy that Microsoft has gotten a hold of. So, Lady of Legend, I just followed you on Twitter. Yes. Halo panties, check. Hey Drew, ditto Drew. Sorry Drew. Oh, you're gonna hump Watts? That's okay. I'm okay with that. Can we hump them together? We'll hump Watts together, and we'll both be wearing Halo thongs. Nanowatts is not related to Patrick Watts. Nanowatts didn't even know Patrick Watts existed, because even though he made a like 1,000-something view Destiny video, he didn't know what the fuck Guardian Radio was until just recently. Which I don't understand how that's possible. Go listen to Guardian Radio. It is the best Destiny podcast there is. I just lost somebody. Oh no. Who did it go there? No, I guess I didn't. All right, that's okay. Next, we're going to talk about EA. Okay? So, EA was actually not that fun to think about for some reason. I just don't think, of all the third-party publishers, Ubisoft definitely has the most interesting lineup to me. But EA doesn't really, they're just not, they have a lot of great games coming. Bill, before you say anything, Dragon Age, I get it. Don't have to remind me. But EA, just to like get all like whimsical and start like guessing what they're going to talk about, just wasn't as interesting to me. But that said, I think there's going to be a Mass Effect teaser, because why the fuck wouldn't there be? I already said this on Twitter. I think somebody might have saw that. The forest is great, Drew. I don't know what that means. No for not liking Evolve Perv. Oh, all right. Well, sorry. I didn't realize how fucking crazy delayed you guys are from what I'm saying. So, you don't like Evolve, that's okay. Legendary, you pick up Watch Dogs and you play the living shit out of that game. Have fun. Thanks for stopping by, dude. I appreciate it. Beards are sexy. That's disappointing because I can't grow beards to save my fucking life. So, anyways, back to what I was talking about. Mass Effect teaser. I think it's going to be... It can't be too much because it's still really early. But I would like to see enough to see, like, what is the name of the game? When do you think it's going to be out? So even if they say, like, fall 2015 and then it gets pushed to, like, March of 2016, that's fine. I want to know vaguely what it's about. Like, just super vaguely. Like, I don't fucking care. I want to be introduced to new characters. I want to be like, than be like Mass Effect and fucking here's a guy and he's talking and he's really intense and you're like, I don't know what's going on, but this looks great. That would be great because, this is going to be in the Frostbite engine, just like Dragon Age is, and every single Battlefield game and all that stuff. So every EA game is going to be in Frostbite from now on, and I think that'll be great. So Watts is blowing up my Xbox, so I'm gonna turn this shit off. Beep beep boop. Next, I want to see Skate come back. I want to see Skate come back to EA. That would be the shit. The Skate on an Xbox One, now that they've had it gone for a while, gone long enough for me to want to play it again. Because by the time Skate 3 came out, man, I was just like, I don't even care. I unfortunately was really put off by the fact that as each Skate game came out, they made it more and more like Tony Hawk. They made it Tony Hawk in tone and in vibe and in the way people talk to each other and stuff, so much so that it was just like, what the fuck is the point of this game? I think that it was interesting that Skate always had like a different play style than Tony Hawk, and I always appreciated that. But, when you make your tone pretty much the same as a Tony Hawk game, like, why would I play your game at that point? It's like playing Tony Hawk. So I want them to come back and really just do something cool with it. Like, make it an open world, but in a way that doesn't feel like a retread of Tony Hawk Underground or Tony Hawk Project 8 or any of the fucking Tony Hawk games and any of the Skate games. Make it feel like a new thing. I want Skate 2. Just reboot it. I don't care. Don't call it Skate 4. I don't give a fuck. Like, nobody gives a shit. You can call it Skate Infinity or something dumb like that. That would be cool. So next, we're going to get a Battlefront trailer. That'll happen. That'll be great. People will lose their shit. I don't really have much else to say about that because I never really got into Battlefront, although this game will probably get me into Battlefront. Battlefield Hardline. We will see people play Battlefield Hardline. Cool. I mentioned before about first-person shooters this year. I think this will be an interesting year for first-person shooters because we have so many different first-person shooters. If no one makes an IGN video about that soon, they're retarded. Because I think it's a really interesting fact that I just kind of stumbled upon today and didn't think about until, it all just kind of hit me in the face and was like, wait a minute. We've never had a year like this. We've never had a year with so many different kinds of first-person shooters. And that's exciting. Dragon Age. Bill, I'm pretty sure somebody's going to play some Dragon Age for you. So that's exciting, right? Beep, boop, beep, beep, boop. All right. EA Sport. Oh, wait, no, let me go back. Mirror's Edge 2, or whatever they're going to call it. I think we'll see gameplay of Mirror's Edge, and I think that's a really good idea. Again, like I said, every EA game is going to be made in Frostbite, because that's how they roll. So seeing Mirror's Edge in Frostbite engine is just going to be gorgeous. I kind of didn't like the teaser last year because I felt like it wasn't too different from what we've seen so far with Mirror's Edge in the past. I mean, even though it's been one game, like, it looked a lot like Mirror's Edge, which is good, but I wanted it to really pop this year. So now that we've seen that teaser, they've had a year to work on whatever they're going to put out. Now, I think it'll look a lot better. I think we're going to see some like really crazy looking stuff in this. Reflections and particle effects and smoke and all that stuff's going to be great. So EA Sports, there's going to be a big fucking 20-minute thing about EA Sports this year because why not? Yeah, Bree, I think you'd love Dragon Age. The first Dragon Age was really cool. Skip 2, never play it. And, I think you'll like this next one. There's some cool, sexy stuff that happens in those games usually that is very different. I mean, it's nothing like Fable, and it's very much not like Skyrim. I would liken it to The Witcher, but I think The Witcher is a much more high-quality game, technically. But just behind The Witcher, I think Dragon Age has potential, has a really, really high potential. BioWare are really solid developers, and I think this is their chance to come back and redeem themselves after Dragon Age 2, Star Wars: The Old Republic, and Mass Effect 3, all being relatively disappointing games to various people. You know, they're all great games, sure, because they're fucking BioWare games. But I think a lot of people were disappointed with decisions here and there. Whereas if you look at Mass Effect 2 and the first Dragon Age and Knights of the Old Republic, it's all way, way, way highly acclaimed. Like, everybody fucking loved every single second of all of those games. So hopefully this is their chance to come back into that world. Titanfall again. I think we'll see Titanfall at Microsoft and at EA maybe this year. So EA will probably show like some exclusive gameplay of Titanfall. I know it's kind of early, but hey, wouldn't it be crazy if EA came out and like just showed a Titanfall 2 logo and a date, and then like a Xbox and a PS4 logo under it? That would be nuts. The Sims 4. So I was trying to come up with something interesting for a prediction for EA, and The Sims 4 is announced to come to PC. What if it came to the Xbox also, like at launch? I think that would be huge. The Sims, whether you like it or not, because we're all gamers, so we don't want to give a fuck about The Sims, but man, The Sims looks pretty fucking sweet. Yeah. Dragon Age. I think there's a demo for the first Dragon Age also. You might want to check that out. Oh, Bill's back. Yay, Bill. You missed like me talking about so much already. Good job. All right. I was just talking about something. Oh, The Sims 4. The Sims 4 coming to console at the same time as PC would be huge. It would just be really big. It would be the equivalent of like SimCity, granted if it didn't suck when it launched, but it would be the equivalent of like SimCity coming to Xbox One. That would be fucking huge. In fact, let me just throw it out there. What if SimCity was announced to come to the consoles at EA's press conference this year? I think that would be a really big deal. If fucking Diablo 3 can come to an Xbox and PC or a PS3, then I think The Sims can come to it also, and SimCity. Those would be two really, really big things. Oh, we love the shit out of Bill. Bree, let me tell you, we love the shit out of Bill. Bill and Bree. Bill's my like number one guy, follower, buddy guy thing, mostly because he's just the shit. And Bree is my number one lady. Okay, so let's just put that out there real quick. Star Wars game. I put Star Wars game as my last thing for EA, because even though we know that Battlefront is coming from DICE, the developers of Battlefield, they have two other Star Wars projects that they've already talked about. So, you have Star Wars Battlefront coming, and you get the hype train rolling there, and it's announced for like next year alongside the release of the next movie. You can announce, and then the next year or whatever, Visceral will be releasing the follow-up game. You don't have to show shit. You can just say, like, here's Star Wars Jedi Academy so-and-so or whatever, and then Visceral logo, and then 2016. Like, that's all you have to say. But I really think there's going to be another Star Wars thing. I really do. Take anything off one platform and putting it on another is always a good idea, especially when it's established IP. That's right, buddy. That's right. That's why Titanfall going to the PS4 is going to be huge. And that's why when Metal Gear Solid came to the 360, that was a big deal for the fucking collection or whatever. That was a big deal. So, I think that's it, right? Yeah, that's it for EA. Let's move on to Ubisoft. So just to let you know, I just typed Ubisoft. When I said Ubisoft, that kind of gives you an idea of how much of a delay there is here. So, yeah. Ubisoft, Assassin's Creed for the 360 and the PS3. So it's codenamed Comet right now. I believe that we will see gameplay of the 360 and PS3 version. So it's not going to be Assassin's Creed Unity on the 360 and PS3 if you don't know. It'll be a different game. They're actually, the rumor, this is a rumor, but it's a pretty solid rumor, and the next game has already been announced for next gen consoles or current gen or whatever you want to call them. So everyone's wondering what the fuck is going to go on with Assassin's Creed this year on the 360 and PS3. And that's going to happen. It won't not happen. I'm pretty sure they said that it's coming to, that they will be supporting it this year. They just didn't outright say that they have a game. So what I would like to see, and there's several reasons as to why, but the number one reason is I just want to see this happen. I would like to see a Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon type, like super crazy spin-off Assassin's Creed game come to the 360 and the PS3. I just think that would be super fucking cool. I think it would be a good way to support, people with the previous gen, but not really like upset people who want to get the current gen version but don't have they sold their 360 so they can get an Xbox One, and then you release two games and that other game's got some kind of cool, interesting thing going on that is important to the story or whatever. You don't want to leave them out in the cold. But if it's a spin-off type thing that doesn't necessarily, like Liberation, like Assassin's Creed Liberation, didn't play it, don't care. I've played every Assassin's Creed game except for Liberation. Fine, totally fine. What you could do though is make an Assassin's Creed Unity engine, or what, well, I guess you'd put it in the Assassin's Creed 4 engine. So let's say it's in the Assassin's Creed 4 engine, but it's like hyper stylized. If you've never seen Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon, what it is a like super 80s sci-fi action movie take on the Far Cry 3 setting. So there's like fucking dinosaurs and lasers, and the main character is voiced by Michael Biehn from Terminator, and he's got like a cybernetic arm and shit. Like, it's super nuts. Have that. Have something that is like make an Assassin's Creed noir game. Oh shit. I mean, I could talk about Assassin's Creed all day, but make something that's like a huge spin-off-y thing. Make it more pirates. I don't know, but just make it very different. Blood Cry was weird and awesome. I think you mean Blood Dragon, unless you're talking about the slave thing. If you're talking about the slave thing, then great. It took me a while to get going in Watch Dogs, but now I'm really enjoying it. Cool, Bill. That's great. I'm actually really happy to hear that you're enjoying it. I didn't want you to trade it in. When is it supposed to be set? So Unity is supposed to be set in the Victorian era, Victorian Paris or something, French something. It's something French. There's like beheadings, let them eat cake, that whole thing. So what I want to see is a spin-off that has nothing to do with that and is just like totally fucking apeshit. So that would be cool. So moving on. Next, we will see a Splinter Cell tech demo. It blows my mind that Splinter Cell came and went last year and was just like, hey, we got a new Splinter Cell game, all right? And we're going to have you do all this stuff. And he's back to being, well, we got rid of Michael Ironsides because we're fucking retards. And he's back to, like, snapping the necks of terrorists and everything. There's a Blacklist. And, oh, hey, look, a show came out this year called Blacklist. And how fucking... I that blows my mind. Like, I hate that. I remember when a Splinter Cell game coming out was awesome, was a big deal. They oversaturated their own franchise by the time Double Agent came out, and it was horrible. But then they took a while, and they made Conviction. And when Conviction was first showcased, he had a beard. No one knew who the fuck he was. Like, he didn't look like Sam Fisher. He was in, like, civilian clothes, walking around on the DC Mall. There were people everywhere, and he was, like, stealthing in and out. And it was really interesting and exciting. Right? And I want to see that again, because even though that game eventually turned into what we see as Conviction now, which is a much more toned down, less interesting version of that game, Conviction was really interesting and added a lot of interesting elements, and the game looked amazing. When the original Splinter Cell was showcased for the original Xbox, that blew people's minds. Lighting, interactive lighting, like just like unique lighting effects, and I don't know what you would call it, but like you could like walk through hanging curtains or whatever, and they move, then like physics and stuff like that. that was all groundbreaking for a console. And on the original Xbox, I mean, Splinter Cell really popped some eyes out. And I would love for a high-end tech demo for Splinter Cell from EA or from Ubisoft this year. I think that would be fucking rad. I want Splinter Cell to mean something again. I want it to be an example of like what you could do with a video game as far as graphics, textures, physics, lighting, everything. I want Splinter Cell to be the thing that people go like. I want it to be in the Massive Engine, Snowdrop. I want it to be in the Snowdrop engine from the Division. So the Division is an MMO, and everybody knows that MMOs never hit the level of graphical fidelity as most games. So if you can take that level of detail in an MMO and then focus it all around a single player game such as Splinter Cell, holy shit. So that's one mission left, one and hard drive totally burnt out, lost everything. Oh, Red Dead. Okay. Random conversation going on over here. What's up, Really So Nice? How's it going? Thanks for dropping in, dude. Appreciate it. I'm just talking, so I really appreciate it. So, yes, Splinter Cell would be super cool. Next, we have Assassin's Creed Unity will have a trailer, because fucking duh. Next, we have Far Cry 4. Far Cry 4 will have a trailer, and man, the Far Cry 3 marketing stuff was so cool with Voss and like him being such an interesting character, and you know the way that they come out. Like Ubisoft always comes out and they're always so serious, and even when it's about a game like Far Cry that has like, you know, you breaking your thumb and like fixing your thumb and all these like dumb things happening in this game, like the creative director will come out and be like, imagine you're on an island and everything is so fucking serious that I can't even stop talking while I drool on the ground. This is so important. But then they'll show like this gameplay that's just like, holy fuck, like it just blows you away. I love that dichotomy. I love the duality there, where you just have like this intense serious guy being like, this game is the most important thing, and then you see this stuff and you're like, I don't even care what it's about, like I just want to do that. Who's that guy? Like I want to, whoa, like base jumping off the Himalayas, like fucking why not? I think that would be sweet. How about we get a shot of him jumping off of a mountain and skydiving, because you have that, you know, you have the wingsuit in Far Cry 3. I hope we have a wingsuit in Far Cry 4. And you wingsuit down and then parachute onto an elephant and then just start shooting dudes from an elephant. Because why the fuck not? Right? That would just, yes. Far Cry 4 could be a lot of fun. Yeah. Fallout, Skyrim, and everything. Weeps. Okay. Division gameplay this year would be great. I would like to see... so the Division got pushed back to next year. I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that they recently announced that the Division will be coming to PC also. So they're developing it for 3 platforms, and so it's obvious that they needed to buy some time, and I think pushing it back was a great idea. The Division being an MMO is kind of a big deal. I don't think people think about the fact that when they see this game, you're looking at an MMO. Like, you're looking at a huge investment. You're looking at time and learning mechanics and learning all this stuff. So I don't want it to come out alongside anything. I want the Division to come out like next spring. You know what I mean? Like now. Now, but next year. You know what I mean? I want it to be the Watch Dogs of next year. Fucking why not? You know what I mean? So that it's something that we get to play when there's just fuck all out. There's nothing to play. I think that would be a great time for the Division to come out. So what I would like to see this year is some gameplay and then announcement of features, you know? I mean, we know some things about the game, but we don't know details about like how the mechanics and the how the game systems work. So I want to know a little bit about that. And then maybe something surprising, you know? I like show a little more about what you can do with that app other than control a drone to help your friends shoot some people. Like, I want to see more, you know? I want to see a little bit of that. Next, let me jump back to the chat real quick. Man, the Division is so good looking. Would you count Destiny as an MMO? No. So, Bill, I'll answer your question real quick. You know, we've talked about this. Destiny has MMO elements, just like it has RPG elements, and just like it has, obviously, it's a first-person shooter, but it doesn't have every first-person shooter element. It has a lot of elements from a lot of different types of games, and so we like to call it as a shared world shooter, which, sure, that's a made-up thing that they made, and sure. But it's not an MMO for countless reasons. First of all, you don't have like servers that you log into. It's not a mega server, so you're not just going to be walking around everyone. There's going to be areas where it's phased and it's just you and your party, which happens in MMOs, but it usually only happens in like dungeons and stuff. I think in this game, it's going to be much more intricate. It's going to be much more designed around like who you're grouped up with, what you're doing. It's like the next step. It's an evolution in what we consider an MMO today, but I don't think it's an MMO proper, if that makes sense. Somebody called Diablo an MMO one time to me. He said, I don't play MMOs like Diablo. And I said, what the fuck are you talking about? Because Diablo is not an MMO. You have clans, you have party chat, you have a chat room down in the corner, much like what was founded with MMOs and stuff. But listen, if I only play with 4 people ever in a game, that's not an MMO. Like, I don't fucking care what is happening. It's not an MMO. And with Destiny, having competitive multiplayer up to like 16 people at once, that's not an MMO. An MMO usually has, like, look at the Elder Scrolls Online's PvP. Holy fuck. You can have hundreds of people around doing all this crazy shit. That is an MMO. Destiny is not. Destiny is like an MMO light. To be the closest thing I could describe it as. So the crew. People forgot about this game because it got pushed back, and then when it did, everybody just remembered that they don't care, and so they were like, hey, the crew, whatever. I think the crew is really cool. I think the crew is a cool game, and so I want to hear more about like how that works. Basically, if you don't know, the crew is an MMO. It's an MMO CARPG because Ubisoft loves to just come up with words that are just so dumb. So it's an MMO CARPG, which means I'm gonna boot up the crew and I'll pick up where I left off. Say I was in Utah, right? I'm just driving around in Utah and it's fucking gorgeous. And say Bill needs me to help him out and he's down in Miami. I can drive from Utah to Miami and link up with Bill to get the cops off his ass. From California to Maine, from fucking New Mexico to Santa Monica to Chicago to wherever. Like, this game is unprecedented in what they're trying to do. It's just, I think the hype didn't push that interesting fact out to the forefront, because when people got their hands on it last year, they were like, hey, this game's great, except Need for Speed looks a lot better. Well, yeah, no shit. Now we know why. The game isn't even out yet. Like here, like a year later, the game isn't even out yet. Need for Speed came out a couple months after E3. So I really want it to look like it's in better shape. I want it to play like it's in better shape. And I really hope that they nailed this whole like shared United States blah blah thing where you and your crew can party up and do heists. You can do races, drifts. I can be racing, and Bill can just jump into my race and help me out by taking out a car behind me. Like, what? So doing stuff like that is really interesting. They do have a fast travel system, Bill. They definitely do. You can, I don't remember what you do, but so for instance, Marty Sliva was playing, Marty Sliva from IGN was playing the crew at E3, so they've already shown this. He was like, hey, I want to go to New York, but I want to go to New York right now. So he zoomed out to the map and clicked New York. It zoomed into the map, and there he was. He was there, his car, much like GTA 5, where it's like do and then it goes back in. So it did that apparently rather seamlessly. So it sounds pretty cool. I think the crew is kind of a sleeper. I think people kind of laugh at it because of how ambitious it is, but I really kind of hope they hit their mark with the crew. So the last thing I'm going to say about Ubisoft is Rainbow Six could really come back. I think it's an interesting time for something like Rainbow Six, because as much as we have Battlefield doing this hardline thing with police and blah blah blah, and Battlefield doing what it does with Battlefield 4, you have Halo being Halo and Destiny doing its thing, You have Call of Duty going to the future warfare stuff. None of this is very tactical. And when you get into a really tactical game, you start to alienate a wider audience. And I think every game that I just listed hits a very wide audience. So for Rainbow Six to break into a wider audience, they had to do the whole Vegas thing, which is much more accessible. But I think you could marry the two. And I think that's what sets Rainbow Six aside. If you look at what they set out to do with Rainbow Six Patriots, which is, I think it's dead. It's gone. It's just really sad. They had a cover article, they had an interview and all that stuff with Game Informer, and then that game just went nowhere. But having clandestine terrorist efforts and stuff like that is an interesting concept. And I think if you just wanted to modernize that with like NSA, drones and shit, and just have it tie into the modern lexicon, shouldn't be too hard. And I think it would be gameplay wise very smart of them to use what they learned with Rainbow Six Vegas and make it very tactical and very, very friendly, though, very user friendly tactical game, but then also have it so that you can make it incredibly simulation, like down to a T, meticulous tactical. Let me set up how I'm going to enter this house and how my team's going to clear through this room or this building or whatever, and let me use all these gadgets and shit and really make it deep. I think that is a smart thing. I just don't know if they have people available to do that. I don't know. So Rainbow Six could come back. That's my teaser thing. I think we'll see a teaser for Rainbow Six. All right, let me catch up with you guys here for a minute. You haven't been talking, but I want to let everything that I just said sink in, so... Next, I want to talk about Sony, and then I'll touch on what I want to say about Nintendo, and then I think that'll be it. First of all, I just want to thank you guys right now real quick for even being here. This was really cool. I didn't know what I was going to do. I just want to get on and talk for a minute, and so that I can throw this on YouTube, as I've said a few times now, and hopefully people will check it out. I don't know. Who the fuck knows? You guys can help me figure out what I want to do with this. Okay. So next is Sony. Sony's weird for me to talk about because I'm not a Sony guy. I don't play Sony games. I don't have a Sony console. I haven't had a Sony console since 2002. But I'm pretty versed on what the fuck's going on over there, and I know what they should and shouldn't do. So Siphon Filter, that's the big rumor right now, is that Siphon Filter is going to come to E3, that Sony's going to bring it back. I think it's a good idea. Siphon Filter kind of went away around the time that Splinter Cell came out. And Splinter Cell was exclusive to the Xbox for a long time. And now that Splinter Cell is on both consoles, it kind of doesn't make sense to bring out Siphon Filter alongside it unless they have a way to make it unique, which I think they could. I think they could do things with Splinter Cell, or with Siphon Filter, that sets it apart from Splinter Cell. But more importantly, I think this makes up for the fact that Metal Gear Solid is going to be launching day one on the Xbox One. Now, Splinter Cell was kind of a poor man's Metal Gear Solid. Siphon Filter was kind of like a mix between Tomb Raider, sort of, in a way, and what Metal Gear Solid was doing. It was like Metal Gear Solid super light, like a really easy to get into Metal Gear Solid. Cool gadgets, great shooting, lots of fun running around, and you had Gabe Logan, I think, or some goofy name like that. It was a cool game. I played on the PS1. Bringing that back would be cool. I think it would be good for people my age that are nostalgic about it, and then I think it's just another game for them to have in their arsenal of exclusives that would make sense. I think it would be a good way to kind of show gamers like, hey man, remember games? We remember our games. You know, I think that's a big message for Sony right now. Is, you know, they're touting the whole like, we done been this, like, look, we're on our 4th console. We've been around since fucking 2000, you know, actually since like 97 or something like that. And, you know, even though they only have a few years on the Xbox, Sony has a much more legacy vibe to it with PlayStation, with the PlayStation franchise. So bringing back something like Siphon Filter is a smart move. You know, I think it's a good idea. I was just talking about bringing back Crackdown for Microsoft. So, you know, bringing back exclusive stuff that people want is a good idea if it's been a while and there's a desire there. You know, just bringing back a random Kid Icarus for the 3DS didn't really work for Nintendo because it wasn't what people wanted. They want Metroid, right? So if you have people clamoring for another Siphon Filter and you know you could probably pop this out, do it. Let me see if anybody said anything. Bree was like, well, see you later. Thanks. So Sony will announce new games. Yes, they will announce new games because that's what you do over on E3. DLC for Second Son. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, I could see that. That's a good idea, Bill. I think DLC for Second Son just makes sense. So what I wanted to do, my other big kind of like prediction thing for Sony would be a GTA 5 bundle. So I think we'll see GTA 5 teased, maybe played a little bit on the PS4, and then a bundle of a PS4 with GTA 5. I think that would be massive. I'm pretty sure there was a GTA 5 PS3 bundle, so that would just kind of make sense. That would be huge. So huge for Sony. And I'm not saying exclusive, I'm just saying they announce it. Much like what's going on with Destiny, you know, it's a game that would be on all platforms except Sony gets to talk about it. So I have a feeling that might happen. I know Bree was looking forward to seeing Rockstar talk about Red Dead or something like that. I don't know about Red Dead, but maybe a Red Dead teaser. Not so much like a gameplay or anything. I think we see GTA 5 come out this year on the Xbox One and the PS4. DLC come out through the end of the year, and then DLC next year, and then next year at E3, Red Dead played on the PS4. How's that for your Rockstar fix? I think that would be smart, because, you know, PlayStation's always been the GTA machine. Rockstar's got a very got a certain affinity for PlayStation, even though I think 360 is probably much more active for GTA Online right now, because that's just where people play video games with friends, is on Xbox Live. But I could see a GTA 5 bundle next year for sure. Josh, what did you miss? Well, I'm down to Sony. I've talked about Microsoft, EA, Ubisoft so far, and now I'm on Sony. So if you missed anything, go back and watch this on YouTube when I upload it after this. And I'll love you forever. Man. So, see, I don't see... Okay, I can talk Destiny during this Sony part, because I haven't really talked about them yet, because Activision doesn't have their own thing, so I haven't talked about Activision. But let me just think real quick. I didn't talk about the 360, did I? When I talked about Xbox announcements, I didn't mention anything about the 360, did I? I don't think even though Microsoft said, "Hey, we're going to support it," I just don't think it's a good idea, and I think that it's time for them to start easing away from it. So maybe it's time for Sony to stop talking about the PS3. I don't know. The weird thing is, with PlayStation Now, it almost doesn't matter. Like, on PlayStation Now, you should be able to play all those PS3 games on your PS4 and on your Vita and on whatever. And I really wonder if you could play PS4 games on your PS3 with PlayStation Now. Probably not. I don't know. Something about controllers, I'm assuming. But let me see here. I got a little sidetracked from reading things. I will talk Destiny later. I could probably talk Destiny after this. I could maybe end this video and then boot back up and talk about Destiny. How about you guys let me know what you want me to do? Do you want me to make this just E3, or do you just want me to talk? I could finish up E3 and then stop this broadcast, make a new broadcast, and talk about Destiny or a specific game, maybe a handful of games, like my top 3 games or something like that from this year. Let me know. And meanwhile, I will continue talking about Sony's press conference. So next I have God of War. God of War will have a teaser, probably not gameplay, because I don't know if God of War will be ready for next year. If it's ready for next year, if God of War comes out next year, we'll have gameplay. Let me put it that way. So if God of War comes out next year, we'll have that classic God of War 3, you know, where he's like doing something and then it pulls out and you're like, holy shit, what the fuck? But I don't know if it would be more than a teaser this year. I think it's just going to be a teaser this year. I don't have a timer. I have no idea how long I've been talking. Interesting. Okay. So, Uncharted. There will be an Uncharted teaser. I think it'll be back to basics teaser. Like, not as bad as the teaser from last year, although people don't remember this, but the teaser from last year was not at E3. It was like at some random Sony event at the end of the year when they were announcing or when they were hyping up the PS4. So we haven't seen an E3 Uncharted reference in a while. I think there will be a teaser, not gameplay, not a trailer, or if it's gameplay, it's going to be like this Arkham Knight thing where it's like gameplay mixed in with lots of CG stuff that you don't, or cutscene stuff that you're like, wait, that wasn't gameplay. What is this? So not much. I don't think we'll see too much from Uncharted, mostly because Uncharted's having fucking problems right now. I mean, I'm sure the game is going to be great, but it's just whatever they're doing over there. I don't know if they'll have stuff ready. You know what I mean? Because when a development company gets a E3 like junket ready, you know, that takes time away from the development of an actual game, and you have to cut out a segment of the game that you can like have ready at the. I don't think that's going to be the case. I think we'll have Uncharted playable next year. That's just my thought. Gran Turismo. I think there will be a Gran Turismo teaser for the PS4. It probably won't come out until like 2016. It's going to look amazing because fucking duh. It's still going to be frustrating because they probably still won't have cockpit view. They probably still won't have like destruction. I mean, it won't be Forza, you know, but it'll be Gran Turismo, and they'll tout some kind of like 1 million cars or something stupid like that. So I was going to talk about Destiny gameplay demo here. I think I'll save that for the end of the Sony thing. I can't really talk on Destiny for like ages because it's all conjecture and it's all, I don't know. But, you know, I'll talk about it maybe because I know things that other people don't know or something, like you guys don't know because you're not following it as much as I am. So, Kingdom Hearts. I think there will be a Kingdom Hearts trailer. I think it'll be gameplay. I don't think they'll play it on stage, but I think a Kingdom Hearts trailer that's like a much more legit trailer than the piece of shit they showed last year will be on stage. Hello. Oh, okay. Hi. What are you doing, buddy? Okay. You good? Are you set? Is that enough? Oh, you want... Nope. Can't have this, bro. Hold on. You want to say hi to everybody? Just a second. Thank you. All right. You got some cat purr. You're welcome. Final Fantasy 15 will be played, in my opinion. Kingdom Hearts 3 and Final Fantasy 15 are going to be huge, huge titles for the PS4. What the fuck are you doing? So I think they're going to play Final Fantasy 15 on stage. That would be a good move, a very smart move. Because then it makes it look like, hey, this is a real game. And even though we've been talking about it since it was Final Fantasy Versus 13, like a bajillion years ago, it's really real. It's coming next year. because I don't think anything good is coming this year for the PS4. Hitman. So I think Hitman could be teased for on the Sony stage. I mean, it could be teased on either stage, to be honest, but I'm just using this so that I can pad the Sony lineup because I don't really think it's that solid. Tomb Raider could be teased also, maybe. The Last of Us will probably have gameplay. What I was thinking, so Bill, I wonder what you think about this. I wonder if The Last of Us... Okay, Bree's got to go in 5 minutes. I'll see if I can wrap this up for you in 5 minutes. So I'll skip through some of this stuff. I wonder if The Last of Us is going to have new content or new features or something that makes you want to buy it on the PS4 besides the fact that it's going to be on the PS4. I also wonder if why would you release a game that has multiplayer on another console? Does that speak to the fact that the multiplayer is not that great? Because, I mean, look what happened with Tomb Raider. Are people playing Tomb Raider on the PS4 multiplayer right now? I don't know. Fucking who knows? So The Last of Us will probably be shown. Neat. Cool. Arkham Knight. I don't know. I just threw that out there because I don't know where it's going to be shown. I don't know if Arkham Knight isn't going to be on stage, but might just be in the show floor. But it's a really, really pretty game, so it's important for somebody to show it. Somebody needs to see this game in action because everything that I've heard is that this game is fucking gorgeous. I know we just saw a trailer. I know that trailer looks great, but I want to see that game running at 60 frames per second, not in slow-mo with somebody talking over it. Like, I need it running. I want to see it on a big screen. I want to see Sony or Microsoft hold it up and say, this is next gen. So Arkham Knight would be cool. A Red Dead teaser, I mentioned that earlier already. Order 1886 gameplay. Duh. They just showed that. They showed like 2 minutes of it, which is just stupid. They need to show enough Order 1886 to stick in people's minds so that people remember that Order 1886 gameplay demo, so that they remember what the fuck this game even looks like, what it's about, who the characters are, what the fuck is going on. I know what it is now, but I've watched like 5 or 6 different like previews on it. Most people don't watch that stuff, so they need to see a trailer or a gameplay demo that's like, oh, it's that game. Right now, that doesn't exist. I don't think that there is anything that's out there that makes people remember that game. Deep Down's going to have gameplay. Deep Down looks dumb. Project Beast is coming, which is... So, Project Beast, I popped into the... hold on, I need to write this down so I don't forget, because I forgot to write Project Beast. Project Beast is that thing that I linked in the Rated M chat yesterday. There was some leaked like promo stuff for it. That'll probably be the E3 showcase. Is just a quick like the thing that we saw that's in like shitty version. We'll see like a prettied up version of that. It's from the people who made Dark Souls and Demon Souls. Demon Souls was a Sony exclusive game. Dark Souls was a game that was on all kinds of platforms. So this is another exclusive. Project Beast will be back to the exclusive. It's basically a spiritual successor to Demon Souls. So what's weird, though, is that Deep Down looks a lot like Dark Souls, but it's a multiplayer game. It's like multiple people playing a Dark Souls game together, sort of, with a very weird twist on the setting. So I think having Project Beast and Deep Down right next to each other is going to be strange for people who don't know what the fuck's going on because they look a lot alike. So that is Sony. That's going to be wrapping up Sony. Nintendo. I have one prediction that I want to talk about for Nintendo because I want you guys to hear this. There's a project from Nintendo called NFP. It is a project that sounds like it's something like Skylanders or Disney Infinity, where you have like Mario characters. They also are using NFC with Mario characters for Smash Brothers. However, there is a project that is like just for this. I think it's going to be, if they're smart, and if this happens, I'll totally get it. You picture this. You start up in a game that's like Minecraft or Disney Infinity, where you have this world, this 3D space you can run around and build things in, right? You're running around as Mario, and you want to build your own Mario 64 recreation of like a famous level in Mario 64. And you have all of the assets available to you. So you build a 3D land Mario 64 type thing. and then you can share that to friends, and friends can rate it, and then they can take it and they can add like special, like change out what enemies were in certain places, or make them different versions of those enemies, or you're a different version of Mario. You're like the Mario that was in Super Mario Sunshine, and you run through a Super Mario 64 level or something like that. Something like that. Something where you can take classic elements from classic Mario levels, put them in a 3D space and build them in a Minecraft-esque or Disney Infinity-esque world, and then using NFC, put like different characters or different like weird characters that would never be in these games. Like put Samus into a Super Mario 64 level and see how that works and shit like that. That would be legendary. That would be unbelievably good, which makes me think it probably won't happen. However, NFP is supposed to be their NFC game, whatever they're getting. So NFC stands for near field capabilities. What that means is I have a sensor in my gamepad. It's on the bottom left hand of the Wii U gamepad, and I can put things on it, and then it registers to the game. They don't use that right now for any fucking reason, but that will be in Smash Brothers, which means they will be releasing like characters and little like things you can add to your Smash Brothers. It's a really brilliant idea, but it's what Skylanders and Disney Infinity uses to put toys into the game. So I want to see what I just described. I haven't been looking at chat, so let me see what people think of this. No one thinks anything about it. That's cool. So that's what I want to see from Nintendo. Anything else is just great. New Zelda, new Metroid, new Mario. Do it. Sure. It's fucking about fucking time. Some things that I wanted to clean up real quick. Darksiders, where's that at? Saints Row, what's doing that next? Homefront, these are all THQ things that have been laying around for a while. Is Dead Space happening again? What the fuck is Capcom doing? Is there going to be a new Resident Evil? I would love to see Resident Evil come to, like a new Resident Evil come to the Wii U. Like have special Wii U capabilities. Probably not going to happen. That would be cool though. Deus Ex needs to be announced. There needs to be a new Deus Ex game. I imagine maybe Microsoft could say something about it with some like special content for the Xbox One. Mortal Kombat needs to come back. Dying Light, we need to see that again, even though it got delayed. And then I want to see more No Man's Sky. I would love to see it on the Xbox One exclusively, but who knows? So that is everything that I wanted to talk about today. As far as the E3 thing. So here's what we're going to do. Realist Nice just asked me if I've talked about Halo. I talked about Halo a little bit at the beginning of the show, sort of. So what I'm going to do next, because I'm not done talking, it's only 8 o'clock, and I have just fucking time to kill. I'm going to end this show, which has primarily been about E3, and then I'm going to start a new show. Bree, I would love you to check out that show. It's going to be me talking about my top 5 games that I would like to see come out this year and like what the hell is going on. And so that's what's coming next. All right. So thank everybody for being here. Thank you all so much. Bree, you're the shit. Thanks for sticking around. Bill, you're awesome. I love you. New people who showed up who've never been on my channel, you're the shit. Please come back. Stick around if you want to hear me talk about more video games. And I will see you. I don't have a good sign off. I'll see you later. Follow me on Twitter, @Drew_.